Okay, so we're going to get started. Good evening, welcome. My name is Carly D'Amato. I'm the Director of Upper School Admission here at SCH. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for our athletic information session. We're so excited to see so many applicants in attendance tonight. So thank you for being here. To start, I figured we would just start by showing our campus very quickly. So I wanted to share a video with you so that you can see our athletic fields and the academic buildings. So for right now, please enjoy this quick video. Okay, so again, welcome to our virtual information session. For those that just joined, my name is Carly.
What makes history at SCH special is the fact.
Sorry. I'm the Director of Upper School Admission here at SCH. We're very happy to have so many of you here with us tonight. The way this event is going to go, in a moment, I'm going to be introducing these wonderful individuals right here. They are going to be sharing more information with you about our athletic programming in the middle and upper school at SCH. So just to start, if everyone wants to wave once I say their name: Senior Ainsley, Senior Connor, Senior Jojo Mcshane, Junior RJ, our Athletic Director, Dave Wilson, and my colleague, the Admission and Athletic Associate, as well as teacher, parent, and football coach and alum, Rick Knox. So they're going to be sharing a bunch of different perspectives about the school and our programming. If at any time you have questions, please feel free to enter them into the Q&A tab at the bottom. Thank you to those who submitted questions in advance. We're going to do our best to get to everything this evening. But for right now, I'm going to turn it over to Rick Knox. Rick, you're muted.
Thank you very much. Glad we have you on here. So just wanted to reiterate what Carly had to say and welcome everybody, and just say that it's very exciting for me to be talking to you all about SCH athletics. As you're going to hear from my presentation and my story, SCH athletics is SCH itself is almost like a second home to me. And the athletic program has done a lot for me personally and also for my family. And you'll hear that in the story that I'm about to tell you now. So as Carly pointed out, I'm the head football coach, but I also teach history here at SCH, and I'm also an alumni. So I'm going to start way back in 6th grade with my story here and kind of run it all the way through my school athletic career and then my professional career, and try to tie together for you some key elements that I know were present when I went to school here and are still present now that are real strengths of our athletic community. So I didn't start playing football until 6th grade. So I entered our football program as a 6th grader, never having played before, and fell in love with it immediately. And throughout high school, I had coaches that really pushed me and mentored me to get the most out of myself as a football player, which enabled me to then go on and play college football at the University of Pennsylvania. Baseball actually was my first love. I played it since I was 5 years old and had played my whole life. But by the time I was getting up to be a junior and a senior, it just wasn't my thing anymore, but I really wanted to stay part of it. And so I was able to play for 4 years in high school and have what I would say was a good, solid career, even though I didn't focus on it the whole time. And then I also wrestled here at SCH, and I didn't ever wrestle before and till 8th grade when one of my teachers and coaches encouraged me to join the sport. And even though I was a little hesitant at first, I jumped right in. And by the end of those 4 years, I had what was a pretty successful career and also an experience that 100% made me better as a person. During that time in high school, obviously, we started off talking about athletics here. At a school like SCH, academics comes first, and academics is really the basis for everything that we do as student athletes in the community. And I was able to reap the benefits also of our academic program. And I felt that academically, the teachers, much like the coaches, really got to know me as a person and pushed me to become the best that I could. And I just know that I had outstanding relationships with them. And that also really helped me in terms of being prepared to play college athletics and have a great college career as well. And when I look at SCH, it's just a really well-rounded academic, athletic, and all-around experience. I would also just point out that I have 3 children that go to SCH. I have a senior, a sophomore, and an 8th grader, and all of them have been involved in athletics, but from sort of different ends and different perspectives. And I think their careers with athletics at SCH also really points out some key pieces that I just want to share with you also quickly. So my daughter, who is a senior, Hannah, has played lacrosse and field hockey, and by far, first and foremost, she's a great student and her academics come first. She's not the best athlete, but she's had an amazing experience participating in those teams for 4 years. And I know that in talking to her, she feels that the athletic program, even though, she's not a gung-ho athlete first, has really just made her experience all around better and also made her a better student and a better person with some of the life lessons that it's taught her. My daughter, Ella, who's a sophomore, is someone that I think views herself as a possible college athlete. And so she joins kind of the athletic program from the other side. And I know that she's getting pushed in ways to reach her full potential as an athlete that are really important for someone that sees themselves as a college athlete. But at the same time, she's reaping the rewards and benefits of the academic program. And for her, she goes about her academic work more to complete it because she loves sports and she sees that as a key piece to get to that college level. And then I would also just point out that my 8th grade son, Kyle, even though he's in 8th grade right now, I would just say that what his athletic experience at SCH has pointed out is just what a great experience it is. What a great time he has with his coaches, for example, on our middle school football team, the camaraderie he feels with his teammates, and he just comes home glowing about it all the time. And so I just wanted to point out my story with the school. It's over half my life that I've been involved with the school and our athletic program. And that for myself personally, and also my children, I think those stories really point out some of the strengths of our program. I know that Mr. Wilson and everybody else on the panel will get into this in a moment, but I think they would all agree and say that athletics makes us better people for doing what we've done. And I know that at SCH, there's a really good brand to our athletic program and a great experience, a great well-rounded experience. And so it's been a pleasure sharing with that with you tonight, and look forward to possibly getting back to you when we answer some questions. And for now, I'll pass it off to our athletic director, Dave Wilson.
Thank you, Rick. Hi, everybody. We're so glad you joined us here tonight. I am Dave Wilson. I'm the athletic director here at SCH. It's my 4th year. It's really been my honor and pleasure to represent and direct the Blue Devils athletic program. So again, I'm glad you're here. A little about our program. We sponsor 17 sports at the middle school and high school levels. We offer about 79 teams at a varsity and a JV level. We require our middle school students to participate 2 out of 3 seasons athletically, and some do all 3. Our upper school students, 9th, 10th, 11th graders are required to participate in 2 sports or a sport in an activity, and then the senior year 1 sport. And again, a lot of our students compete all 3 seasons. It's great to see that multi-sport participation. SCH is a member of the Interact League. That stands for Inter-Academic. And there's 9 schools in that league. It's one of the oldest leagues in the nation. We're also part of the PESA League, which is 27 independent schools, and PESA stands for Pennsylvania Independent Schools Athletic Association. And in both of those leagues, we compete for championships. So it's really kind of fun to compete with similar schools. Our middle school program, it's a 4-day-a-week program, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and they compete twice a week and they practice twice a week for about an hour and 15 minutes. Our upper school is a 6-day-a-week program. Our varsity teams practice between 2 and 2.5 hours. Our JV team is about an hour and a half. And usually Tuesday, Friday, our interact competitions with the weekends for non-league opponents. Our philosophy on competing, our varsity teams, they're ability-based, and our focus and emphasis is on excellence and on winning championships. Our JV level is more participation-based, and their emphasis is more on fundamentals, skills, and being part of a team. Sportsmanship and competing with honor are a big part of who we are as a school and how we compete. I'm very proud of our athletes and our coaches who really promote this. Again, we play hard and we play to win, but we play the right way with ethics and with sportsmanship. We try to get every student athlete into their proper level. We do make some decisions between varsity and JV. We rarely have to cut someone off of a sport. It's only a few sports that are facility-based. For instance, tennis, you have 7 courts, or golf. Those are sports we might try to steer someone to a different sport, but you really can find a home on every level. As Coach Knox mentioned, we have student athletes playing at a high level in college, and some just want to compete and play in high school. In both levels, you can find your home for sure. Our coaches, we have an awesome coaching staff here. One of my priorities and one of my tasks as the athletic director is to not only hire, but retain quality coaches and quality coaching staffs for all of our programs. We're not a school where we put all our resources to 1 or 2 sports. We want all of our programs to be successful, and that starts with quality coaches. Our coaches, most of them have played at a higher level. They are engaged, motivated people. They motivate their student athletes. They're passionate about their sport. And the best thing I like about our coaches is they want to get better. A lot go to clinics and they want to be a student in their sport and want to always continually get better, no matter how much of a veteran coach they are. Couple highlights of our program. SCH has added to the rich history from Chestnut Hill and from Springside. And since 2017, we've won 6 Interact championships, team championships in the sports of boys and girls soccer, baseball, softball, and girls track and field. We've also won 4 PACE championships since 2017 in boys and girls soccer and in softball. So we've had a lot of success, but win or lose, I am most proud of the student athletes and our coaches for the tireless effort they put into the pursuit of perfection. And most importantly, how they represent our school. And they do that with honor. And I'm just proud of all our coaches and our student athletes. I look forward to hopefully meeting you someday face-to-face here on campus. If you have more questions after the Zoom, feel free to email me or call me. I'd love to talk with you. And of course, I'm here at the end of the presentation to take questions too. I'm now going to hand it off. We have 4 awesome student athletes here. And I'm going to hand it off first to Ainsley Rexford. Ainsley plays 3 sports for us. She's one of those rare free sport athletes, and she's awesome. So Ainsley, the floor is yours.
Hi, like Mr. Wilson said, my name is Ainsley. I'm a senior here at SCH. I am a 4-year Triversity athlete. I play field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. I played club lacrosse my freshman and sophomore year, but I decided to spend my summers doing other things. I have played club ice hockey all 4 years in high school. I'm also planning on playing club sports in college because I didn't really want to pick a sport to specialize in. I pretty much love all 3 of my sports equally. In addition to sports, I'm a member of lots of clubs and activities at SCH. I'm the head of the Student Athletic Advisory Council, which meets a couple times a year with Mr. Wilson, who's our athletic director, and we kind of give feedback on athletics, and we plan special events, fun-themed games, all that fun stuff. I'm also the head of our school's environmental club. I'm a lead tour guide. I'm a member of the investment club, and I'm on our world championship robotics team. One of the things that I really love about SCH is the ability to do it all. I mean, I am on the robotics team and I do a lot of clubs, and I also play 3 sports, and that does not happen at a lot of other schools. It's not uncommon to play multiple sports. It's encouraged. We have kind of like a 2-sport requirement, as Mr. Wilson said. Coaches are very understanding about playing multiple sports and being involved in other activities. They really want you to get involved into the community and make the most of your time here at SCH. If you're a single sport athlete, many coaches have optional off-season lifts and skilled sessions when they're allowed by the Interac. SCH has really good training facilities. I typically lift anywhere from 1 to 4 times a week in the weight room. I've made a lot of close friends in the weight room, and that's a really nice facility that we have the opportunity to take advantage of. Sports have really dominated my time at SCH, and I've really grown with my teammates on and off the field, making some of my best friends and fondest memories. Playing sports is a great way to meet new people, to get involved in the community, and to have fun. SCH is competitive within every sport, and we've won a lot of championships during my time in high school, which has been really fun to watch and to support my teammates through their victories. People at SCH are really passionate about sports, and there's definitely a lot of pride in our teams in the community. And sports teams always support each other at each other's games, which is always really fun to see. So I'm going to pass it off to RJ now.
Thanks, Ainsley. Like Ainsley said, my name is RJ Moore. I'm a junior. I came to SCH in 9th grade from a public school in Upper Dublin called Sandy Run. Coming to SCH, I knew I was coming to a really welcoming environment. Some of the clubs I'm involved with at SCH are BSU, student facilitators, and student ambassadors. Some of the sports that I play are football, wrestling, and I got the opportunity to try lacrosse last year. I started wrestling my freshman year on the varsity team, and since then I placed 4th at nationals. I placed 4th at states, and I qualified for nationals. For football, I started on the varsity team my sophomore year, and I've been enjoying my time since. So with the athletics here, I feel like my coaches will help me reach my goals in the classroom because I know they're going to hold me accountable to what I need to do and on the field. I know during my time here, I've been able to make great relationships with my teammates and made a lot of great friends that I know that will last beyond high school. I also have made great relationships with my coaches like Coach Knox and my wrestling coach, Coach Dingley. And I feel like I can talk to them about anything other than sports. And I just feel very comfortable with them. A big thing for me is, I like to work out, and I feel like we have a great training and lifting programs here. And they help me learn new techniques and just things that can help me build my body up and get ready for collegiate sports when that time is for me. As of right now, I don't really know what I want to play yet in college, but I feel like SCH will help me decide and is really a great place for me. With the sports here, I feel like I've also been able to build a lot of character, especially with football. You're faced with a lot of adversity at times, and it teaches you how to handle adversity and how to react. Same with wrestling. You're in certain positions, you gotta be able to react and just, like I said, build character. Finally, with the clubs, I value the clubs at SCH because I love to be a part of different communities and see different perspectives from students. I also feel like that these clubs let me be a well-rounded student. So as I'm a leader in sports, I can also work to be a leader in clubs. And yeah, thank you. Next, we got Jojo.
Hi, I'm Jojo Mcshane. I am the student body president or co-student body president at SCH. A member of BSU, RJ, we're both in that. And then I'm also, or have been, the varsity girls soccer team captain since my junior year. I'm a senior now, obviously. As a junior, I received all state, all SEPA, and I was actually the MVP of the Interact League. And since sophomore year, I've been honored first team all Interact. And this year, with the shortened season, obviously those awards were kind of, I don't know what to say, kind of messed up, but I still had a great season, even though we only had 5 games. But what the main thing I wanted to talk about was the level of play in the Interact. From my personal experience, I've had the opportunity to play with numerous Division I athletes. I was actually just watching the Wake Forest UNC game, and I know G DeMarco, she played for Penn Charter when I was a freshman. She's now a starter at Wake Forest, along with Emily McNesby and Grace Rourke, who are at Maryland and Dartmouth, who I got the opportunity to play with. And then in past years, Meg McCool, she just graduated from UVA. So those are all like really huge schools. And I've gotten the opportunity to play with all of them. And I just think that the level of play has constantly gone up since I've been at SCH. And normally people would say, oh, high school sports aren't as big as club, but the Interact play is most definitely adequate or higher level than some club teams. And then I also wanted to talk about the team morale at SCH. As a junior and senior, I really got to step up and kind of play like a mentor role with underclassmen, and just be a huge leader on the team. And I loved building those friendships with the underclassmen and the girls in my grade. I see them in school and on the field, so you're spending a lot of time with them. So you kind of get super close, and winning with them is just the best. And then time management. I actually feel as if when I'm in season, I'm way more on top of things just because I have a super tight schedule and I have to keep everything in line. Whereas in the spring, I kind of go watch the baseball game or do this and that, and I kind of get off track. But definitely playing sports at SCH keeps you maintaining like a super hard schedule, and you keep your grades up while playing the sport you love. So yeah, thank you.
Next up, we're going to go to senior Connor Kosnig.
Hi, I'm Connor Kosnig. I'm captain of the boys soccer team. Previously, I've ran track and was planning on playing squash this winter, but we'll see how that works out with COVID and all that. So I've participated in investment clubs, mental health club, and investment club. They've all been so much fun, and I've all done it with all my friends, and we have a ball with all that stuff. Personally, I couldn't have asked for a better high school athletic experience. I went to a small Catholic school called St. Alphonsus, about 25 minutes from SCH. In my class at St. Alphonsus, I was the only person to choose SCH, while all my other friends went to LaSalle. As you could tell, SCH was kind of a brand new start for me, but being a part of the soccer team really helped me transition and make new friends. I only knew 2 kids on the team at the time after arriving at my first captain's practice, which was an absolute ball, and I wish I could go back to that. Being the only freshman on varsity, I was a bit exposed to a lot of upperclassmen. I was welcomed pretty well by them, and I couldn't have asked for better guys. I still talk and hang out with all the alums to this day. I couldn't have asked. Freshman year was, you couldn't have written that, and I couldn't have thought for a better freshman year. That year we won both Interact and States, and they were both great experiences where we had a huge crowd for both games and we all stormed the field, and it was awesome. I'll never forget when we won States, especially because we weren't expecting to be there. And when the final whistle blew, everyone ran towards. And I remember seeing the video from the stands, and my dad's next to the camera, and he got all emotional with my parents, and it was awesome. So with SCH, there isn't really a social barrier between upperclassmen and underclassmen, which I really love. I talked soccer and general life with a bunch of underclassmen, especially a sophomore named Daniel Heap. At SCH, everyone is friends with everyone. Doesn't matter what grade or what sport you play. Doesn't matter. Teachers are always there to help, and they're considered your friends too. This year, Mr. Ford was always asking my math teacher. He was always asking what game I have this week, and see if he could head to it and try and catch a little bit of it. And even last year, Mr. Morris, my math teacher, he's the announcer for the basketball team. And it's always great to see him when we all go and watch the game and see him announce all that stuff. And with teachers and sports, if you miss a class for a game or early dismissal or anything like that, they're always lenient with missing work and anything like that. They're always there for you, and just to make sure you're staying on top of your stuff and make you a better student. Being involved in athletics is great for making friends and with education, because you learn how to be productive with your time and just meet new people. And one last thing, the thing I value most about my education here and my time spent here is got to be the community. Like, we're all so close, and it's so surreal when we talk with like the girls soccer team. We'll be like, we'll be at your game at this time, and then you guys will stay at our game after, and we all get all rowdy and stuff, and it's just a ball the whole time. So yeah, I'll pass it off to
Thank you.
Connor.
Thank you, Connor. All right. Well, first of all, thank you to everyone that has been sharing their experiences and their stories. It's wonderful to hear all that you have to say and what you bring to the community and the school. So at this point, we're going to enter into the Q&A portion. Again, any of our families that are attending the event, if you have specific questions about programming, the community, the culture, anything at all, please use the Q&A tab at the bottom to submit any questions that you may have. I am going to just go off of some of the questions that were submitted in advance. So to start, do our teams make cuts from any of the programs, excuse me, and is there room in your program for less experienced athletes? Anybody want to take that one?
Sure, I'll jump in on that first. So I think our football program, much like a lot of our programs, because we're a smaller school, there's really room for players of all different levels. And as long as there's enough space, we don't make cuts. So I know Mr. Wilson talked about this. There's only a very few sports where there are sort of space requirements, like the tennis courts or the golf team, or maybe squash, where they do actually make cuts. And I would say that one of the things that I value the most about our athletic program is that really there's room for everybody of all different levels. I look at my own experience where I never wrestled before, and I got encouraged to try out for the wrestling team, and I did, and wound up having this amazing career and amazing experience. And that was a while ago, but I see that all the time with football and with other sports as well. So I think the one thing that we really have is a great mix where you have a student who may be an aspiring Division I athlete on a team, and it fits them very well. At the same time, you might have a student athlete that either hasn't played before or took some time off and then came back to the sport, and the program really meets them where they are. So I greatly value that. Anybody want to add to that?
Jojo? Yeah, I just wanted to include that this year, our JV team, we could have, well, I guess no freshman made our varsity team this year just because of playing time we would get in games. It wouldn't really make sense. But when we scrimmaged the JV team, there were some moments where Coach Maria was like, oh, well, she probably could have started for us, and she probably could have started for us. So both of our teams were super competitive, and the JV team only made us better. So yeah.
Thank you for that. Another question that was submitted: how does your athletic program help student athletes with the college recruitment process?
I'll take this question. So, for me, I started talking to like my head coaches, probably sophomore and junior year, kind of just like figuring out maybe like what kind of school I wanted to go to, what division I was thinking, like what region of the country. And then they helped me reach out to college coaches and kind of like start talking to them, start figuring out what kind of showcases I need to go to. I play a lot of club sports outside of school, so I had a lot of assistance from my club sports, but my high school coaches were always there. They picked up the phone. They called some college coaches on behalf of me. And so they helped me like kind of make that connection and start the college recruiting process.
I'll add to that as well. So I know that Mr. Wilson pointed out that as a school, we really feel strongly about hiring and retaining the best professional coaches that we can at the high school level. And, for me with football, and I think the athletes would have a similar experience as Ainsley did with her sports, that we really take it very personally and seriously, that not only do we want to have our student athletes have a great experience while they're on our teams, but we also want to try to get them into the best opportunities they can for college. Obviously, it's going to help them when they're playing for us to have that great experience, but also it speaks volumes when our student athletes go on and are able to achieve great heights at the college level. You heard Jojo mention some of the soccer players, for example, that have gone on and played at a really high level. And it's always just a pleasure to see when our student athletes, are reaching that high level at the college level. So for us as coaches, we take it seriously. We make sure to have connections with those college coaches, create an open lane of dialogue, and also counsel our student athletes as to what some really good fits might be for them. While I'm going here, I do see that there was a question that popped up, so I'm gonna add that now, and so I'll read this out to the panel, and this one might be a good one for some of the students to answer. So the question is, how do students athletes handle if they are in athletics and want to participate in the arts as well? Is there a conflict between the two? Does any one of you guys have something to add there? Yes, Carly.
Can I also just add, I think athletics and maybe even robotics, since that's another program that I think is worth putting in there. Jojo, Ainsley, anyone?
I can definitely speak with the arts. I know Ainsley, you know about robotics, but I think it's the same thing if I'm not mistaken. So sports end around, I would say like 5:36, and then players, which would be if you were involved in the musical or the play, it would start after that. So you would go to your sports practice, and then you would have the opportunity to go to your arts program after that. And then, Ainsley, do you want to speak on robotics?
Yeah, so robotics usually meets like kind of starting at 6, so after sports. Robotics also like usually runs from like I guess 3:30 to, we do a lot of late nights when we're building our robot, which is really fun but also late. So there's like an opportunity for people that aren't doing sports to do robotics like while everybody else is doing sports, but you don't really miss anything. And I always come like after sports, like all sweaty in my sports bag, and just like put my safety goggles on and start working on the robot. It's pretty easy to do a lot of different things at SCH, which is one of the reasons why I love the athletic program. And it's really worked out for me to be able to be part of robotics, but also play 3 varsity sports.
So what Ainsley and Jojo pointed out there is that the school, we've made some sort of scheduling decisions that allow student athletes to do as much as they want to do. I don't think you have to look much further than Ainsley, for example, and not only 3 sports, but robotics and all these other clubs and activities. And there is not a conflict there. You just got to have the will and the effort to be able to do it, and the time management. And I think Ainsley pointed out, and some of the other panelists, how athletics teaches you that time management skills. The other piece there is some of these other clubs. So like RJ and Jojo pointed out that they're in BSU and student facilitators. And so we give time during the day in our schedule for clubs and activities to meet. Student government also meets during the day. Our student ambassadors meet during the day. So basically you have time to do clubs and activities during the day, athletics or after school. And then some of these other activities like robotics and or players happen even after that at 6 o'clock at night. So it is possible to do everything, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, if I could add too, I think I found in my 4 years here, the school allows for kids to try different things. We have the requirements, of course, but a student could, there's a physical education, robotics and players, they could choose that instead of a sport. And so some kids might come here, play 3 sports and start to realize, hey, I love drama. I want to get into play. And they start doing that, and that can count it as a requirement too. So.
Thank you. I'm going to ask a question just because I'm curious. For our seniors that are attending this, what schools are you applying to for college right now, or have you already heard back from or plan to play for?
I can start off. So as of now, I'm planning on and I'm committed to Hobart and William Smith to play soccer there.
Jojo?
I'm planning on playing and continuing my academics at the University of Richmond.
Ainsley?
I decided not to like formally commit to a sport or play like NCAA varsity athletics, mostly because I'm really like dedicated to playing 3 sports, and that's been like a critical part of my life in high school, and I kind of want to do that in college. So I'm looking at a bunch of schools that have all 3 of the sports I play club, which is actually pretty hard to find because club women's ice hockey is a little bit of a rarity. But I'm just waiting to hear back on where I got in.
Do you mind sharing where you applied?
If you don't mind, my family and I have decided to keep it like kind of a secret. I am very academically inclined, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to say that. So a lot of the programs I applied to are very competitive. So I'm kind of just like trying to keep it to myself and like good spirits. Hope that I get in.
Fingers crossed, but congratulations, Jojo and Connor as well. Any more questions? Feel free to add them in. Otherwise, the last question that we have that was submitted in advance, what would you say are the biggest strengths of the athletic program here at SCH? Any students want to chime in there? Rick, Dave?
Sure,
Yeah,
I'm good, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to start. I came here from Dallas, Texas, and I was in a boarding school in New England for 20 years, and I was an NCAA Division III coach for 8 years at Gettysburg College. But I came here because it's valued. And if you meet our headmaster, Dr. Drugan, man, he loves it. We do believe in the education-based athletics, being a better person through athletics, and athletics, academics comes first, but the sports are valued here. The teachers all, I think Connor mentioned, you have to leave for a game. They don't give you a hard time about that. They'll work with you if you miss something. So I think I find is that, in fact, all our programs, I feel they're valued here. And if someone wants to, it shows passion and gets involved in something, we're going to support that person. But I think that's the strength of our program is that if you look at our facilities, our equipment, our coaching staff, it points to we value the athletic experience here.
And I would just jump on that quickly and say that the experience, based off of the communities that are created amongst each program and then how much they're valued, as Dave was pointing out, it's just such a well-rounded experience to be an athlete at SCH. You can get involved in so many different sports and so many different facets of the school, and it really meets student athletes where they are, from a first timer to someone that's an aspiring college athlete, and that's truly special.
Another thing that I would say is one of our athletic program strengths is just like the community that we have, both like within teams and then on like in between teams. So all three of my teams have like pretty different communities, but everybody is like really close and we're all friends like on season and off season. And then I've also made like a lot of like close connections with people on other teams, both through like watching their games and training together in the off season in the weight room.
Wonderful. Well, I think we're going to conclude on that note. So Connor, Ainsley, RJ, Jojo, to start, like, it's been so wonderful to see you all grow over your time here at SCH. And I think I speak for Rick and for Dave when I say we look forward to seeing how your journey continues as a senior next year, RJ, and in the future at the college level for our seniors. For our families that attended tonight, thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions about the application process, we're all here to help you. So please feel free to reach out to Rick or myself at any point. Rick and Dave, any final words that you'd like to say?
Just thank you very much for being here. It was a pleasure and exciting to talk to everyone.
Yes, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.